Ready to live the life of the American cowboy, much as they did in the Old West over 100 years ago? Where you'll spend the day in the saddle on your own ranch horse, riding fences, herding cattle, sorting calves, branding, putting in a long day on the open range, just as the cowboys did who settled the American West. Well then, partner, we have just the ranch for you, where you'll experience an authentic and genuine Western cowboy experience like no other ranch can offer. While there are many dude ranch vacations available, very few offer an authentic working cattle ranch experience. But at ROWSE'S 1+1 Ranch in Burwell, Nebraska, you'll live, work, and breathe the genuine working cattle ranch experience. Just like the cowboys over 100 years ago did, you'll rise early to a hearty breakfast prepared by Tammy and her staff. Then gather the horses, brush and saddle your horse. And head out early for a day's work. This isn't an activity simply planned for the guests' entertainment. You're an integral part of a true working ranch operation. And your job and responsibilities are critical to the daily operation of the ranch. What you don't know, they will teach you. All in the open-air classroom covering several thousand acres of rolling terrain in the sandhills of Nebraska. Kind of the ultimate on-the-job training program, you might say, cowboy style. And because the days are long and the work is genuine, this is an adults-only working guest ranch. Guests come from all over the world to experience an authentic working cattle ranch. For those with a fascination with the Old West and how ranchers managed a large cattle operation day in and day out, they will find the total experience at ROWSE'S 1+1 Ranch.
Our guests enjoy being included in almost every aspect of what we're doing. Whether we're driving cows or branding calves, or we may take an afternoon and do some team penning in the afternoon in the arena, some dummy roping, but they get to actually work cattle right alongside of us, especially Jerry. He's very, very good about explaining how to position your horse or where you need to be. He might be waving at you a little fast, but he'll get the point across to you. But no, it's really important for our people that come visit and stay with us to be involved. They can be as involved as they like. If they want to take an afternoon off, they can take the afternoon off, unless we're in the middle of a cattle drive, but they can have their time. But most of the time they want to be riding, because there's lots and lots of riding. Check all our pastures horseback, so they're probably riding, I don't know, how many miles you probably ride in a week?
Well, I think I figured up one time, it's like 80 or 90 miles.
Interestingly enough, both Jerry and Tammy came from generations of ranching families that have been ranching in this area for generations. Their goal in opening up their lives and lifestyle to guests from around the world is to keep ranching traditions alive.
We was kind of born and raised with ranching. Born and raised right in this area. Been generations of ranching here with it on this place and your family is right north of here. So it's kind of a way of life also for us. Something we would never want to give up. There's a lot of hard hours, a lot of sleepless nights, but the quality of life is something we'd never ever want to give up. We enjoy being able to share that with people.
Each day's activities is determined by the passing seasons and what needs done around the ranch. This could be moving a herd to a new pasture or to where the water is during the changing seasons. Checking fence lines and making repairs as needed to keep the cattle both confined and safe, or sorting calves and branding them. And because ranchers help their neighbors, you might even be working on another ranch during the week, helping out with their daily ranch projects. After moving cattle all morning, guests stop for a quick bite for lunch, and the horses enjoy a break and drink from the stock tank. One of the horses even offered his help by washing the saddle off for his rider. After lunch, it's more riding and more cattle to move across the hills of Nebraska. After a long day of moving and working cattle, you'll return to comfortable and rustic accommodations, where you can sit on your porch in a rocking chair and watch a billion stars above in the night sky. What better place to rest after a long day on the trail, reading a book, or enjoying conversations with friends and family members? You'll detach from your digital lifestyle and reconnect with simple values, open skies, horses, nature, friends, and family, and the simple things that make this the best working cattle ranch vacation you will ever have. Because it's real and it's authentic. The meals prepared by Tammy and her staff are hearty and sumptuous. Guests can enjoy an after-dinner coffee or a drink in the beautifully appointed recreation lodge listening to music. As we mentioned, guests come from all over the world to experience firsthand the life of the Western cowboy. And this week, ROWSE'S was host to guests from both Germany and France. If you're fortunate enough to book a week while Francois is there, a visitor from France who comes for several weeks each year, you'll enjoy evenings listening to Western songs and other favorites played on guitar.
Doing music and go to sing soul. I got old time for rock and roll. Solo. No? Yeah.
Oh, it's easy for you.
Next week.
Next week, yeah, I bet.
Yes, I always wanted to live the cowboy life. It was a dream of my youth, and this dream came true. I came here and discovered the range, the wide space, and that's so different than in France, because in France it's a little country with no space like here in the United States. And then I love the country music too, and that's why I am so happy to stay here and to have a break, to breathe, to be relaxed, and something like that. In the 60s, the old movie I've seen was a cowboy movie, yes. And for offshore, John Wayne is a superhero for me, and every Henry Fonda, everything like that, it's represent a lot for me, and that's why I was so fascinating with this kind of life, and so happy to find a place like this.
But why do guests come from all over the world to ROWSE'S 1+1 Ranch to work all week on a cattle ranch, living the life of the Western cowboy?
Well, I choose this ranch to come here because it's really familiar, and it's quite a small group of guests they host, and I like to be with the horses and the cattle, and to learn something about cattle work, and just to be with the wranglers and the rangers, and doing what they are doing all the time. My life in Germany is completely different from the life I experience here at the ranch. In Germany, everything is quite crowded, and so I enjoy the calmness and the wideness of the landscape, and I like to be with horses, and I like to do some cattle work, and it's quite familiar here on this ranch. There are only small groups of riders, and so it's a kind of individual riding here, and I like it.
I started doing vacation over here in USA and Canada, BC, a few years ago. I never did any riding before, and I found it so exciting that I did it any year again, and I wanted to find a place where it's a real life, where you do the authentic work of a cattle ranch. For me, there has to be nothing very fancy. It just has to be, well, you've got to have a purpose for your riding. And that's what you find here. You go along and you do what has to be done, the task that is in hand, and you see so different things to be done, and you are really participating, and that's what I'm here for. We've been to ranches in BC, Wyoming and Colorado, and last year we finally found 1+1 ranch here, and well, we are here again, and I think we'll keep it that way, because here we find the things we search for. There's riding with a purpose, not just going along for a trail ride and, oh, nice landscape here, and you don't need to go there again because the landscape's the same next year. Here it's the everyday work of a real working ranch, and you're just participating in that life, and that's what I'm fond of, what I want to do every year.
Branding, the real cowboy still exists.
On this particular day, the ranch hands are moving a herd of Texas Longhorns to another area where they can sort out the calves from the adults and brand them. And as you'll see here, you've got to be alert and quick when moving Texas Longhorns.
So carefully, sorting, counting his cattle, so precisely, and nothing's changed. He rides with chaps, wears spurs in his boots, and cowboy hat, a roping, catching, the real cowboy still exists.
Branding is not an optional task for the cattle rancher. In most states, it's a law and requirement that livestock be branded for identification and other tracking purposes. And because branding is a lot of work, neighboring ranches will pitch in with their crews to make the job go faster. Particularly when you have hundreds of calves to brand, inoculate, dehorn, and castrate. When everyone pitches in to help, the entire process can take place in less than a minute per calf. And the calf can trot back to rejoin the herd in no time at all. Today, the ranch hands and ROWSE'S get to try their hand at going into the pen and roping a calf to move to the branding area. It may take a little longer for the guests to get their calf, but they're here to learn and experience firsthand the daily work of the Western cowboy. If you want to learn how to be a cowboy and the ways of the American West, there is no better place in North America to learn cowboy skills and live the cowboy lifestyle than at ROWSE'S 1+1 Ranch. It's all right here in Nebraska. At the end of a long day, guests often sit outside and share experiences and share stories of what they saw and what they learned during the day. Or they can enjoy an evening sitting on the front lawn with friends and neighbors.
There's a whole generation with a new explanation. People in motion.
Why, guests are even inspired to dance on the front lawn with friends, family, or a loved one, recalling a simpler time when music, friends, and dancing by a beautiful sunset were the perfect complement to a perfect day.
Be sure to wear some flowers.
And it's really, really fun to let people experience the cowboy lifestyle. I think we've probably all in our past grown up with that thought. For generations it's been, people's thought about that, dreamed about that, and here they get to experience it. They get to live it. They get to go out with Jerry every day, ride, move cows, whatever he is doing that day, they're right alongside with him. And so it's a true working cattle ranch experience that they get to experience.
If you're looking to live the life of the Western cowboy, riding the range all day, moving cattle, sorting cows, and engaging and participating in every ranch hand activity the original cowboys did, well then, saddle up and head to ROWSE'S 1+1 Ranch, where the food's hot, the work is real, the lifestyle is genuine, and you'll enjoy the most rewarding Western experience you'll find anywhere. You're not simply a guest, you're family at ROWSE'S 1+1 Ranch.
But if they want the real ranching experience, we can help them out.
Eyes full of pleasure, just staying to appreciate the moon and stars, remembering songs he would like to play with a guitar, riding roping, the real cowboy still exists, hailing branding, the real cowboy still exists, riding roping,